Hey everybody, it's Jimmy again with Bright Insight. Today I'm going to talk with you about the pyramids of Egypt and how literally what we were taught in school and what is still actively being taught in public schools and at the university level is completely inaccurate. For example, the Great Pyramid of Giza has 2,300,000 stone blocks. And by the way, that's just an estimate. I've heard estimates as much as 2.6 million. But these blocks range anywhere from 2 to 80 tons, 80. Do the math on that, guys. We're talking 160,000 pound stone blocks, or as little as 4,000 pounds, of course. And these stone blocks are made from granite, limestone, and basalt, a combination of it. And they originate from the Aswan and Elephantine Island quarries, which are located literally 500 miles away. Now, there's many theories on how they were able to transport these massive stone blocks from such an extreme distance, but that's something we'll cover in another video, because I have some things that are far more interesting to discuss that will make your heads absolutely blown with these facts that you probably have not heard before. Now, these 2.3 million stone blocks are all various different sizes and dimensions, that they weren't just one-offs that they were able to manufacture, okay, this one is this size, or we're going to make 1,000,000 of these. No. In fact, they fit in, and they have a very unique fitting for each individual block, that they're not just stacked on top of each other, but they're intertwined to create an incredible force of stability and interlocking connectiveness. Now, the Great Pyramid of Giza sits on 13 acres. It's nearly 500 feet tall, and each of its bases is more than 750 feet long. Interesting fact that you probably haven't heard before is that the ratio of the pyramid's height to its circumference at its base is equal to the value of pi, 3.14. Just a coincidence? I doubt it. Now, something else that's very interesting is that if you were to take a 9,000 pound pyramid stone and say that it's about 3.5 feet by 3.5 feet, which isn't uncommon to find, it would take literally, if you were to unload this, if men did this without machinery like they want us to believe, like, as a bunch of slaves doing this, if you were to have 3 people on each side, and keep in mind, we're talking a 3.5 foot dimension, but if you could fit 3 people on each side of 3.5 feet, which would be a tight squeeze, each individual person would be lifting more than 900 pounds. That doesn't sound right, does it? Here's another interesting fact. If you could cut, carve, shape, and place 10 stones a day, it would take more than 664 years to make just one pyramid. Guys, we're talking moving these things, cutting and shaping them, moving them over 500 miles. And by the way, you have to place them precisely, because to make a pyramid requires extremely advanced mathematical formulas and equations. Because if you don't place them precisely, by the time you get to the top, you don't have a pyramid. You have a corkscrew-shaped mess, and you're completely screwed. Another interesting fact that many people are not aware of is that mainstream Egyptian antiquities want you to believe that the pyramids were utilized for tombs. That's what they were. They were tombs. However, they never found tombs inside the pyramids. Yeah, look it up. But what's more interesting is the fact that the absolutely amazing acoustic capabilities that are within the pyramids, within the galleries, and the various, like Queen's Chamber, for example, like literally YouTube this. The acoustics are so unbelievably impressive that there's no way that this was an accident. Look it up. Now, here's a big question. Why would anyone go to such an incredible task of building even just one pyramid? Like, could we even do this today? Well, okay, yeah, people say, yeah, sure, we could. But what would it take? How much money would that project cost? Not only would it be the most expensive and most elaborate project ever constructed but in modern times, but I could say that no one could afford to do it because it would cost an untold amount of billions of dollars. It would require an unbelievable amount of manpower and effort. Like, what union are they going to hire to get this shit done? Like, literally, if it takes 4 years to build a modern baseball stadium, like, what do you think it takes to make a pyramid? And when you look at these pictures, guys, the precision that's necessary to form these pyramids and do what they did, or to even have the internal chambers constructed within the pyramids and the shapes of the stones to interlock the way they do, requires such unbelievable precision and accuracy that it is mind-numbing. And to be able to construct and make this thing happen today, well, it's kind of far-fetched in many, many ways. Now, another interesting fact is the alignment of true north with the Great Pyramid, and that it's within an error of 3/60ths of a degree of error of being perfectly aligned to true north. Now, we do know that because of the precession of the Earths and its tilt over time, that true north does change. We know this. So what's interesting is that it must have been at one point aligned perfectly to true north, seeing as how accurate it is today. That's pretty amazing. Guys, what we were told about ancient civilization is far, far more complicated than what we ever imagined, and that they had to have some sort of advanced technology or machinery in order to construct the pyramid, and the evidence is all over the place. Anyways, guys, I'm Jimmy. This is Bright Insight. Like and subscribe. I have many more videos for you to enjoy and have many more coming. Be blessed, all.